hot air balloon. And you can work in groups of up to 3 people, I guess, as long as you stay as far apart as you can. We've got a couple of hand sanitizers, one here, one back there. Since we'll be using a lot of the same equipment, it's important to keep hand sanitizing. And this is a tiny version of what you're going to be doing. I've got some pieces of plastic over here that look like this, that are, they should be 9 feet by 4.5 feet. I've been measuring out 4.5 feet, and then the other dimension, if you spread them out, it should be about 9 feet. And in the past, we've done really complicated designs, but we don't have time for that. So basically, you just kind of make a pillowcase out of this thing. And the way I made one yesterday, and it worked fine. I folded this over like this, and so I see a little issue here. Yours should look right. Let me make this so it looks more square. Yeah, so your piece of plastic is 4.5 feet this way and about 9 feet that way. So if you fold it this way, then it should be approximately a square. And basically we'll just seal these edges. I'm going to see how this works. I'm going to set my sealer up here. A long time ago, I made wooden toys and I shrink wrapped them, and this was part of the shrink wrap setup. So there, you can kind of see what's going on here. I'll move this over. It's going to be a little bit upside down, but that's okay. So if we turn this on, this light is on, and then there's this arm, and when I press this arm down, I think you can, I'll put this in here. Press the arm down, red light comes on, and then it goes off. And what that's doing is it's underneath here where my hand is, there's a heating element and some Teflon, and it heats it up temporarily, and then allows the plastic to melt and be sealed. So this is the part that I want to seal. You can just seal it, or you can seal it and trim it. And I recommend sealing it and trimming it, which you do like this. Sorry, get the mouse out of the way. You can see what's happening with the light as I do it. So I'll press the arm down with my other hand, which you can't see, and I'll hold this down, and when that light goes off, I'm going to tug this little piece of plastic right here and pull it out. Okay, the light went off. There we go. So this edge right here is now sealed together. And I'm going to do that with the other ones. So with the, if you're using a really big piece of plastic, this arm is not long enough to do the whole 4.5 foot edge. So you'll have to do a little bit more, and work your way down. Good morning. I'm showing them how to make a hot air balloon. Let's see. Normally I'm a little more organized with this, but this is just, I'm winging a lot of things this year. So now I've got basically a sandwich bag, and then hold that down, pull that out, and there. So this is a bag that you can't get into. What I did, thinking about how you might want to fly this thing, turn this way. Oh. That's upright. So I guess the whole thing could fly like this. You could have your flame down here, so you could cut a hole in that, and I think that would probably work. What I did is I wanted my hole to be right here, and then I wanted it to fly like this, and I wanted it to look a little rounder. So I took these corners off. Oops. Stuff there. So just like that, and there. This, I'm not doing a great job, but it kind of ended up like an octagon. So it's sort of like a circle. It ended up actually looking like a whoopee cushion. All right. So if this were your balloon, you'd be, this is really the main thing. We could cut a hole in this, and then we could fill it up with that hot air thing that's sitting over there on the floor. Yeah, there it is, right there. And it would fly. I don't know if this one would fly because it's not big enough. You need a balloon to be really big so that the amount of mass in this plastic is insignificant compared to the amount of air inside. But anyway, if this were a full-size one, I would at this point cut a hole wherever it is I want to put my fuel, like for example right there in the middle. And then I need to make a platform for the fuel. So if you get this done today, then you're off to a good start. I'm going to move this out of the way and show you how to make a fuel platform. We're going to be lighting sterno, which is kind of like hand sanitizer actually. Let's see if I can burn some of this hand sanitizer. Has anybody burned hand sanitizer? No? Yes? No? Okay. Well, we should be able to. This is, if it's the kind that is actually good for COVID, it should be at least 60% alcohol, and the alcohol should burn. So it's burning. You can kind of see it's a dim blue flame. The stuff we're going to use is more of an orangey flame. Ooh, nice warm hand sanitizer. All right. So now you get to pound. And I've got some pieces of aluminum. These are what I would recommend making the fuel platform out of. We're going to squirt some stuff on this. If you squirt alcohol on paper or something, then it's going to burn. So that's why we use this. But this, if it tips sideways, everything's going to drip off. So this needs to be formed into a little bit of a cup, which is why I have this hole in the board and why I have this thing. And I was looking for a better hammer, but this was all I could find. Thought we used to have a good one here. Put this right where you think the center of the crosshairs are, and then you've got a nice cup. Now, this piece that I started with is too big. So let me do this. What you could do is trim this afterward. You've got to be really careful with these little pieces because they're sharp. So if you make this the wrong size, you can just use scissors and trim this. Alternatively, you could try to make it a more reasonable size to begin with. Cut a circle that's a little bit bigger than this hole. Like that. Let's see how this one works. Try to get it all centered, but if it's not perfect, it's okay. And I think that's probably going to get stuck in there. So if it gets stuck, you just need something to push it out. And there. So nice little thing to hold the fuel. Now, this hole in here will open up. The best way we found to do it is to sort of form it into a square, and then a couple of, what are these things? Bamboo skewers. They go across the square, and you can hook these on however you want. But this is the way I found last night that I felt like was the easiest way to do this. So I've got a little bit of wire. Actually, this wire is so thin, I think I could cut it easily with scissors. And how did I do this? Oh yeah. So I just put these together like this and put one piece of wire around like a twist tie. You could wrap it around a couple times if you want to. Don't get it too tight. I'll show you why. Just twist that around, put it kind of in the middle of them, and clip it off with something. You could use these wire cutters, or you could use probably scissors again, even though it's a double thickness. And then spread it across out into a plus sign like that. I could use tape. Why am I not using tape? Tape could melt, and it might not, but it might. So it's a good idea to use this wire. And then I need to get this to sit on top of here. So here's how we do this. I really should be using a different hammer for this. But I'm just going to poke a couple of little tiny holes in this with a nail. I've got some other wood in there that you can hammer into. So we're not all trying to use the same board. And then get another piece of wire. Probably see where this is going. Fold it into a big long staple. Stick it through there. And see how this goes across. Turn that, and then this wire should go across there. Let me bring this in close. So this is going around this way. Open this up, and the other one should go around this way, where there really isn't any wire, like that. So I can do that. And then basically just doing the twist tie thing again. Once you get this started, if you want to grab it with some pliers, you can get it a little bit tighter. So squeeze on tight with pliers and just twist. What might happen though is you might twist so much, you get so much tension in this that you break the wire. But the wire is cheap. I've got plenty of it, and we could get more. See if I can cut it with scissors. Yeah. All right. So that's this is uneven, but all I have to do is slide this one over and slide this one over. So if I had my parachute, like this, all I would have to do now is just attach this. And at this point, I tape these on. And I've found that the easiest way to do it is to not really overcomplicate things at all. Just go get some clear tape like this. And wherever the hole is in your parachute, you can just do that. And that's really the best way to attach this. Yeah. So this will be in your hole. We'll put some fuel in here, light it, try to keep your plastic out of the way, and then it should start flying. And if we put too much, you'll never see it again. There are some, I maybe made these holes a little big, and some of the fuel might leak out the bottom. Oh well, it's kind of exciting when the fuel goes dripping out the bottom. Usually it's not on fire. Sometimes it is. I've never had a problem with that. All right, so that's